Here we go, loading up a wind quartet die. Using a phone that's very, screen is cracked up. I can't really see, it's weird. But the camera still works. Say hello in the chat. I can't see if anyone's here. Okay, so I haven't opened this or done anything since last week. The only thing making me push this project on is these Thursday night YouTube live sessions. Whew, it's like a lifeline. At least an hour a week I work on this project, and it's going to get finished because I'm doing these. So if I hadn't done these the last 4 weeks, 4 sessions, I mean, for months and months, this project was like dormant, not getting pushed forward at all. And now it is getting very close. Here's one of the tracks I worked on last week. Oops. Gotta plug in this stuff. Hello. Oops. We have an issue. Yeah, I think I'll make that a bit more varied. Hello, banana FPS _7 and happy. Hello. Can you hear it okay? Is it loud enough? Cool. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I do like bananas, yeah. It's a bit short. Oh, thanks, banana FPS. So I'm gonna make that percussion a little bit more varied. Turkey, like the country Turkey. Oh, thanks, Happy. I've never been to Turkey. I've got some Turkish friends, though. Is that what you meant by Turkey? 1, 2, 3, 4. Who else have we got here? Nah, not a big turkey eater now. Can't really hear the difference. Oh, thanks a lot. Oh, I'm glad you like it. Quite like a computerish It's like a bit too, not enough variation in it. Oops. That's Alice-ish. Oh, I didn't respond to your comment yet, but I will. Interesting. Did you mean the Cyro Bunkers interview? Hey, Nadia. I can't see how many people are here today, so seems more than usual. Oh, where was that interview about the Korg monologue? I do not play video games. Not that I don't want to, but I don't have any, and also I'm too busy because I need to make music. Warp Record site. Ooh, I'm gonna check that interview out. Is it like in video or in text? Well, I'm not sure if I've read that one. I thought I read all the interviews. Right, okay. Text on the Warp site. Yeah, gonna check that one out. The Korg monologue has some cool tuning stuff. Okay, this is cool now. This is cool. When he was talking about tuning the master tune knob to something that sounded good, that's not really micro tuning as such. It's just like the whole thing's going up and down, right? So he's just like, oh, 193 subs away from 1K. Yes, finally getting to 1K. Been doing this every week for not the live streams, but like uploading videos most every week a long video and every day a short video for 2 years nearly. No, 1.5 years. Was it? I can't remember now. When did I start? I started in September. No, it is 2 years. It is 2 years, yeah. Anyways, so let me bounce this out. And yeah, MP3 is fine. So this album is something I started January 2024. did I go to? I remember it was really quiet. I was in Dublin. I was living in Dublin back then, and it was very quiet Christmas. I think I was sick around that Christmas time, and I was recovering, and I was having a really quiet time. And I used to go over to where we were living in this house, but where I had a school that my own school that I used to run, that was like a 2-minute walk from the house. And there was no classes, it was so quiet at the school. In this first week of January, I used to go over there for a couple of hours in the morning, and it was so quiet. It was like really nice. No one to disturb. And then I would play all these pieces, the album pieces, they all came to me in that week. Every day I would just like play, ideas would come, and then I would record it. And then the next day a new idea, the next day a new idea, like that. I had like at least 7-8 ideas over a week. And then I just didn't do anything else, kept them. And then a few months later, I got an idea to do a wind quartet recording, and applied for a grant, applied to the Arts Council of Ireland for a grant, got a grant to record a wind quartet, like really good, best musicians in Ireland, really top musicians, the Cassiopeia Wind Quintet. And then I started to take those pieces from January, guitar pieces, melodies and chord ideas, and then I wrote them out for the wind quartet, and then we recorded that session. The players, like, they didn't need to rehearse or anything. We just like, I gave them the music on the day, they read it, they were like incredible sight readers. And then we recorded at my friend's studio, Les Key at Howard Studios, and that we recorded in, I think it was like the end of May in 2024. Now I had the recordings, Les mixed the wind part, so he sent them to me like about a month later. It's pretty quick. So then I had, in about June or July 2024, I had the files that are used in these tracks. At the same time as that session was on, I recorded all these crunchy industrial sounds, where the studio there was like this industrial estate with this burnt out bus. I've done videos on that, so you can watch that. And it was all like crunchy metal against concrete against glass, and there's all this kind of broken materials that I could like record and bust a video. And then I made sample packs out of I made my own drum kits and stuff out of those crunchy industrial sounds, all the drum kits that I'm using in these tracks. So I had this wind quartet, nice like wind quartet sounds, very clean and pure and smooth. And then the crunchy metallic and glass and concrete sounds and the industrial sounds. The whole idea was an industrial wind quartet, these two different worlds of sound. And then I started kind of working on it, but then 2024, I moved to Bristol, beginning of October. And then I really didn't do anything else until very sporadically, but basically just revived the project a few weeks ago, and I want to get it. Bristol Life update. Bristol Life is good. I have to do a Bristol Life update tomorrow. Can't think about that now. Oh yes, Spotify is Zoid. Spotify is Zoid. My Zoid, there's a few Zoids, but my Zoid is the capital Z, capital O, lowercase I, capital D. That's me. On YouTube Music, it's all there, yeah. With that same Zoid. They should like link it up with your YouTube channel so you can like click a link and find the YouTube Music. I don't know, they don't do that. Anyways, so yeah, there's a lot of electronic music up there. Okay, now we got another one. Scrambled. Save. So Scrambled is like a kind of, you can link it. Yeah, I live in Bristol now. I've moved to Bristol. 7 months in Bristol. Bristol's cool. Yeah, there's not much difference between a label and a artist in terms of, was I could like put it in the link. Like, I need to look into that actually. Yeah, I don't know how when people look at the channel, they should see what the YouTube music link is. You can probably put links. Okay, so here's Scrambled. It's a bass clarinet kind of driven. And okay, see you, Banana. Thanks for dropping in. Every Thursday, same time. Thanks, hope so. This one's in 7. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3. Quite relentless. This would be cool to play this in a club. Thank you, Alice. Yeah. Serum 2 with the bass. This is an interesting sound world. Oh, David Lang. Yeah, I know who that is. Thanks, Ryan. Bang on a Can. This is a bit Bang on a Can-ish, now that you mention it. Yes, I would have been introduced to that kind of music. Do you know Donncha Dennehy? That was one of my teachers. Donncha Dennehy's worked with Bang on a Can. I think this definitely needs to be extended. Floex. No, I don't know Floex. Is that a electronic? Oh, Woodwind Electronics. That's sounds like pretty much up my alley, cup of tea. So is it like dance type of electronic stuff, or is it like Woodwind Electronics, like contemporary weird music? Yeah, I've done an album with a string quartet. Now I've done a wind quartet. I would like to do guitar quartet, sax quartet, bigger ensembles. You know, I had a 9-piece electronic music, 9-piece electroacoustic jazz ensemble called the Zoid Ensemble back in 2006. Toured Ireland, did like 4 or 5 gigs around Ireland, where I can tell you some of the gigs there was more people in the band than in the audience. But we did it anyway. I think this one sounds pretty cool. I don't know what to do about this one right now. Yeah, okay, I think that sounds cool, so I'm going to move on. So, okay, day 8. Oh no, cancel. I'm going to open up. Oh, I have to find it. Ableton 10. Industrial Winter Quartet. Oh, wait a minute. So you've got Ableton 10 and Ableton 12. Contemporary music. Well, check it out. Not the biggest fan of contemporary music because it tends to be very academic and intellectual, and I like dance music. But don't write off every genre. That's what I say. Every genre has mostly like bad music in it, and then that little bit is really, really good. So, you know, I used to think certain genres I used to think, I don't like that genre. But I was always proved wrong. You can't not like a genre. I'll tell you an interesting thing though is, well, did you see Adam Neely's video about genre? Was it Adam Neely? Oh yeah, it was. It was when he was talking about that guitar player who was kind of done for like making whatever, faking his videos or something. But then Adam Neely was talking interesting stuff about the culture of different genres. Like in jazz, you do standards, you do covers basically of other songs. That's like built into the genre. But like in hip hop and also in techno, you don't do a cover of another song. You just don't do that. You do your own stuff only, which is kind of interesting. But in the book, this book, Sweet Anticipation, it's a great book. I recommend it. Psychology of Music. Music and the Psychology of Expectations, a music cognition book. In this book, he talks about, he says this, there is no difference between a genre and a specific piece of music, like a track or a song within a genre. So when I read that at first, I really couldn't get my head around what he meant, because like, you know, a genre is a collection, a whole style of music. So why would he say there's no difference between an example of that style and the whole style itself? But what he meant, or I think if I put it into my own words, if you take Irish traditional music, right? So all the different pieces of music within that genre have certain characteristics, but if you aren't aware of them, so if you are just very unfamiliar with it and you just, they all sound the same to you. So like, you haven't developed the ear that can pick out the differences to say this piece is different from that piece. You know, that's why people say, oh, that all sounds the same to me. In jazz, if they aren't familiar with jazz, they'll say, oh, it all sounds the same to me. You know, usually I don't like it because it all sounds the same, but actually it's true. It does all sound the same. It literally is the same. There's no difference between the genre and a piece of music in the genre, unless you develop further ability to pick out different details of that. So, you know, for some people, if you become more expert, you can pick out, oh, that's, you know, Miles Davis, 1954 or whatever, and then this one is John Coltrane, 1958. You can hear differences in there, difference in timbre, difference in, you know, difference in the style, difference, the melodies, all these differences. But if you don't, then it's all the same. It's potentially all this perceived as just the same, you know. Our traditional music, it's all just diddly eye stuff. Does that make sense? Anyways, back to this. Didn't change anything there, did I? Oh, you're back. You missed a big long rant I did about there's no difference between genre and a specific example of that genre. But you can read this book. It's a good book. It's quite heavy though, it's a heavy read. Okay, here we go. This one's called Day 8. Can't remember why I called it Day 8. Where's it? What song did it remind you of? But what's the other one? This one, I have to take out a few of the beats, and then this one will be done. Oh, this is the dubby version. All right. Paper Planes by MIA. Actually, yeah, that was a dubby version that I started doing where it doesn't really have most of the wind in it. This is the actual. Nice distortion on the beats. This is sounding good. Every track is its own genre because every song is different in the same way, so you can infinitely divide them into different boxes. Yeah. Yeah, ultimately, yeah, if you. Yeah, this one's nice. Play this at IKEA. Getting good vibes off of this. Thanks, Banana. Shaker sound. All the sounds are industrial field recordings, manipulated and made it to beats. Can't remember where that one comes from. This one sounds okay. I'm not going to take any of the beats out. Actually. Pretty happy with that. Well, the songs are quite short. A good synth to get that has capabilities to work on its own. You mean like just with beats or just with synth sounds and it will just work on its own without like attaching a sequencer? So with a built-in sequencer. Is that what you mean? Making music on it alone without a computer. Rooftop Koreans, maybe you've got a suggestion? Synth with a built-in, like it's more like a workstation. There's like, I can only think of like more expensive ones, but like a virus or something. You know those Access virus? You care because you do. How do I get the recordings? Which recordings? The ones of the Wind Quartet? Because those ones, I wrote the music and recorded the Wind Quartet in my friend's studio, so that's where they come from. And all the other recordings, the percussion stuff, is sequenced from field recordings of metal and glass and industrial estates. Construction, like construction site. I just went around with a little field recorder. Let's see a little field recorder. This is the one I used. Went around with this in industrial estates, recorded sounds onto this, put them on the computer, chopped them up, put them in the, made the beats. Yeah, I use my voice. Yeah, I've used my voice quite a lot. singing, talking, different things, but not in this album. No voice in there. But what was I going to say there about the? Oh yeah, going back to the genre thing, right? Yeah, you were saying, this is, keyboards not really. I got like a few keyboards back there, but I don't tend to use them much. I tend to program everything. Sometimes I use guitar because I'm a guitar player. But going back to the genre thing, right? If you think of like what you said about every track could be its own genre, which is true if you go like detailed enough, like into a billion micro genres. But like think of music where it's so similar. It made me think of how easy it is for the AI music to replicate something that's in a genre very much like a country pop song because it's so formulaic. It can do that really well. But if you go into one of those AI generators and go make a Detroit techno-y thing, it's not going to do that at all. It just can't because it's much harder to predict that music because it's much more individual. Like early 90s techno, that was why it's so interesting. Every individual had a completely different sound. Whereas techno now can be a lot more boring, because it becomes a much more predictable thing. The sound gets kind of, yeah, my music's, yeah, thank you. That's a compliment. Exactly. Yeah, averaging data with a bit of randomness. So it's not interesting, basically. But like when you're, yeah, my music tends to be everything I do is, one album is one thing and another album is totally different. And that is hard as well to maintain any kind of flow, build up an audience as well, because you like lose people because I do a jazz album, then I do like techno, and then there's not that much crossover between them. But anyways, that's what I like to do. So I don't like to get bored. Anyways, what are we doing here? We're gonna, that one, yeah, happy enough with that one. What else have we got? I listened to it all the other day. My logo, that's an interesting story. The logo is, I wanted a Zoid logo for a really long time, and a lot of different designers tried to make one. I went through many different versions of the Zoid logo before a great illustrator and designer called Robin Fuller, who is Irish. He said, I've got an idea, I'll work on it. And he came up with that logo, the Zoid logo. This one. Oh, that won't open there, of course. Zoid design logo here. This, oh no, I don't know. What's going on? Yeah, it's just a Z. Not very exciting, but it's it's very simple actually. A Z with a semicircle at the bottom, but I like it, but I actually might get it. I might get a new one though. I'm glad you think it's effective, but I've not had a lot of people comment on it actually, even though I thought it was pretty cool. But I have been considering getting a new logo this year. Maybe a little more complex one. Don't change it. Why? Why don't change it? People don't comment on it too much. Yes, definitely. I have done some music for games. I've done a couple of different video games. A student project last year or the year before, and a couple of different things. I did like kind of Mad Max RPG kind of game, and I did the theme tune to that. So kind of metals. Not any games that were out in the, like, available publicly. Well, there was one that was, what was that one called? So long ago now. These people made like a 2D platform version of, was it called Dark Souls? Is that a game? Do you know that game? Am I saying that right? I can't remember. Anyway, I did the music for that. Came out pretty good, actually. Yeah, Dark Souls. But it was like a 2D version, like a platform version of that game. Okay, here we go, back to it. So we got, oh no, not there. Oh, not there either. Where are we going? Here. Okay, Grey Pier Day. Let's hear this one. So this one is another one. Quite a whimsical sounding. Yeah, I'll check out Flux. Happy with the beats in this one. Kind of excited about having the tracks on the album not completely finished, but and finished enough to send it off to, got like 4 or 5 remixers lined up to do remixes. Very excited about that. And then getting the artwork, vinyl, promo, all that, getting that out September release, October maybe. Yeah, vinyl for this one. It's going to be very limited, like 20 copies. 20 dub plates. Yeah, that one's, I think that one sounds pretty finished now, actually. And moving on, we've got, oh yeah, this one's kind of a techno-y one. Yeah, that's good. You can hear stories in it. This one is kind of house music, industrial house music. Like that ride. When they come out. So it won't be out till probably October this year. French horn in the background there. Yeah. That was a bassoon, that one. So little fills moving around. Cool, nice one. Yeah, I could. Theme parks, train stations, very much. I like that ride cymbal a lot. I don't know what it is. Clanky beat. Alice, what are you studying? You said you're studying. You're studying music. Well, it's more of a. You said it to me in an email. Remember? You said you're a student, I think. Banana, you're learning music at school. What are you learning? What instruments? Hobgorn. This is more like a listening session. Well, are you studying something else? Are you like studying in general? But sometimes when you're working on something, you just have to listen through the stuff. Oh, right. I see what you're saying. Yeah, you're just in school still. Plenty of time to get. Ba-doo-ba-doo-ba-dee-boop-dee-boop-dee. Keyboards, yeah. The flute did a really cool thing there. The flute went. Beats are cool. This one. Oh yeah, that I have to. Too much of that to take it out. Some of them. Really nice textures there on the. How about hearing this really loud, like on a huge system? That'd be good. Yeah. Yeah, I think this collection of tracks, this album, is like the best thing I've ever done. So in this section, Yes, I've opened it in 12. Oh, really? Yeah, yeah. Like, I guess by making music, you're always trying to get something that's really you, you know? So the extent to which you accomplish that, I guess I feel this way about the latest thing every time. It's like, yeah, this is the best. It's not the best music objectively, it's because you constantly strive to be make something that's more you, more me, then every latest thing is like the thing that does that the best, it seems. So anyway, at least I'm most excited about whatever I made most lately. So, but this one is, it's great to like do a kind of project where it's like so many different parts coming together, a kind of team as well, the engineer and the players and all that. But yeah, I don't know. I've been doing the stream. This is the fourth week at the same time every week, and this is the most amount of people engaging that I've had. My favorite sound that I use, um, like I have a favorite, constantly changing, but I mean it's hard to pick one. If I had to pick one sound that I love in this project, it's the sound of the bassoon. I don't really have the, it's just in there blended with all the other instruments. But when we were recording it, I'd never recorded a bassoon before. I mean, I'd never even written for a bassoon or heard a bassoon, actually. I'd heard a bassoon, but I hadn't like heard someone playing it really well, like right in front of me. You know, I'd never worked with a bassoon player before. I worked with a French horn, with the flute, bass clarinet, all the other instruments I'd worked with before. I love the bass clarinet as well. I love bass clarinet. I love woodwinds in general. That's why I woodwind quartet. But bassoon really surprised me. So the bass off of the bassoon is really nice. It's, I would describe it as rubbery bass sound. So it's not like harsh at all. It's really nice. Boom, 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 boom. Now, every week, once a week, Thursday night at this time for 1 hour, so 10 minutes left. Get all your questions in 10 minutes time. I'm going to relax. So put this in brackets at 12. We'll bounce this out. Or wait, did I make any changes? Is this the one where I did the changes? Yeah, it is. Wait. Hobgorn there. Replace. Yeah, I don't know how people find the stream. They just come across it, but like, then subscribe and then watch the channel. Yeah, quite pick up a few subscribers from the streaming every week. But the first couple of weeks there's really no one there. Maybe they don't show to many people until you do it regularly a few times. I don't know. Also, maybe I should just do it every day. It's a good way to meet people and get subscribers and stuff. But that'd be funny. I'm so busy. But I could squeeze in like a half an hour or something. Yeah, the Apex analysis videos, that's, oh, they take so much work. Man. Hours and hours I was working on that how do you pronounce that? Quicksot one. That one, oh, it's just like listening, trying to figure it out. It's not a great return on time investment. No, it is a great return. I've always wanted it. I've always been fascinated by Aphex Twin, so. Quixote, what's that? Quixote, is that a synth? Okay, we're going on, moving on. Open up the next one, Midnight Grin. This one's, I think, finished. So we'll just do a playthrough. This is more like a listening session. Then the other weeks I've been like really working on the mixes and the, you know. Oh, Quixote. You think the X is like a, how do you know it's pronounced that way? Have you heard Aphex pronounce it that way? Yeah. Is Aphex Twin's name pronounced Aphex Twin? Or Quixote is a word that I'm not aware of. You know, people who say Xtal is pronounced Cristal. How do they know? Yes, it is. Engineers write Xtal short for crystal. I know that. Oh, Don Quixote. That makes sense. But I bet you Apex did not name it after Don Quixote. So he could be thinking of a different way of pronouncing it. Like with the Autekra. Yeah, my friends when we were growing up pronounced it Autek. But they just decided like the R-E at the end is silent. But for ages, years and years, I thought it was Autek, like Autek. And then I heard other people say Autekra, and I thought, oh, that makes sense. Why would it be silent? And it's short for Audio Technology Research. But they really don't care how people pronounce it. There's no right or wrong way to pronounce, you know, it's just whatever you want. But yeah. That's interesting. Yeah, I wonder if Aphex did. If he did name it after Don Quixote, then yeah, I would say that would be correct, Quixote. What about the synth? What's a good synth for Alex to start on that does everything without a computer, sequencing and everything? I mean, an MPC, what about that? That does everything. Or some kind of groove box or something like an MC303 groove box. That's got synth, drum, sounds, everything in it, and it's pretty cheap. A rental house called Quixote. Huh. Did you watch the video yet? Rooftop Koreans. And, we're 5 minutes left. Do I use instruments from other continents? That's an interesting question. So like, sitars, no, never use that. Like, I don't use a lot of instruments from other continents, no. I don't use instruments usually unless they're real instruments. I don't like to use sampled instruments very often. So I would use like real synth drum machines, mostly samples that I make, you know, manipulated recordings that I make. And then if I use instrument, guitar and bass, I play guitar, so I put guitar in music quite often. Percussion. Oh, thanks for commenting. Percussion. Well, I did some tracks with my friend Nick Roth, and he had a load of Turkish percussion instruments. So yeah, I have done like Turkish percussion stuff. Can't remember the names of all those drums. Darbuka, I used to have a darbuka. It was like really cool to sample that. And I had djembes as well from Africa. So yeah, I have done those things. Tuning shenanigans, that is something I have meddled in a bit. And I would love to do more of that, like pure intonation. Get everything properly in tune. You know, it's being a jazz musician and like being, you know, I practice every day with my scales and chops and licks and stuff, and it's all 12 tone, you know, equal temperament. I'm really deep in the equal temperament. It's hard to leave it, you know, and then I'll have to leave all my bebop lines. Yeah, just intonation. Yeah, I would love to try it, you know. I had a very good friend in college, an amazing Norwegian singer, Kari Nelia Grooven, Norwegian, amazing singer. Her uncle, one of her uncles, had invented an organ that could play in different keys and it could play in pure intonation, just intonation as well, and change key as well, which is amazing. Like, you mean equal temperament, like an octave divided in 24 or an octave divided in 48? In Ableton, yeah, I don't know how to do that in Ableton. Ableton, there should be a way easily to do it. But in MIDI, what's the story with doing MIDI? Because it's, yeah, I used ChatGPT like a few times for getting ideas, but really I've got so many ideas floating in my head, I don't really need it. 19, are you saying like 19 divisions in an octave? I've not seen how to do that. Listen to this one already. I've done them all. Oh no, got two more. Two more tracks. Interesting. Scale workshop. Yes, that is worth checking out. Thanks for that. I'm going to write that down. Scale workshop. Another thing I want to try is Synthy. Do you know the Vocaloid? You can make it sing. It's used in loads of like Vocaloid music. I want to try that for fun. Okay, here's No More Rice for Joe. Very 90s war. Oh, I like the rhythm change. This is your song, Nadia. Oh yeah, you need a new piano roll for that. 19 divisions in an octave. I heard there's like a 10 tone even tempered scale used in Africa. This would be cool to play this in a set. Yeah. Maybe I'll play this at my next gig in Sligo. Yeah, drop this at peak time. Tiny bit Bogdan Rachinski. Sang do the fatality. I don't know what that is. Computer game? What computer game's that from? Four. Whoa. Synthy. The Vocaloid one. That was one of my students who's really into Vocaloid music. Keeps asking me when I downloaded Cynthia, but I haven't used it yet. I don't know how complicated it is to use, but it's a pretty cool idea. Okay, Peace at the Center of the Storm. Last song for the night. Have you used it, Cynthia? My phone's all cracked and I thought the time was the count of the number of people watching, and I was like 58. Oh, 59, great. But it's the time. Mortal Kombat. Sang Tsung. I should have known that. I don't even play Mortal Kombat. Okay, here we go, last song. Here we go. Then it's go home. Tune in next week. This is a good end the stream. That's a funny emoji, yeah. It's over. Oh, that's weird. I can't find the Cynthia thing now. Cynthia. Yeah, now I can't find it now. I'm going to have to... Cool. Yes, come back next week. Yeah, I might have got the name wrong. Was it Synth V? That's something else. Yeah, I'm going to have to figure out what I was talking about there. The synth. Synth is definitely in the name. Cynthia with an I on the end, but yeah, I can't find anything with that. Okay, yeah, let me get back to you. Okay, thanks for watching, everybody, and see you next week, same time. Goodbye. I can't stop it. My phone's broken. I have to keep on streaming forever.